Welcome to another Australian Workplace Training Investigation video, and today I'm talking about complaint analysis failure. In a previous video I talked about investigation failures, but today I'm going more specific and talking about complaint analysis. Now, in the description of this video there is a link to an article on my website, and that provides more detail around the points I'm going to be talking about today. I'm only talking about the dot points today, so I encourage you, go and check out the actual article and you'll find out more information about when complaint analysis fails. Now, it can be argued that any form of investigation in misconduct will generally start with some sort of complaint, okay? It is probably one of the most important components of a successful investigation. It's certainly the start point, okay? So complaints often come in written form or via email. They're usually full of emotive language. At times they lack detail about the exact nature of the complaint. And the analysis is where the investigator generates their interview plans and the questions required to gain clarity and gain evidence during the complaint witness and respondent interviews as to what happened, what we call the 4WH, the who, what, where, when, why, and how. So here are some of the reasons why the analysis of the complaint will fail. Failure to recognise the importance of conducting a thorough analysis. If you're thinking you don't need to, you must conduct a thorough analysis. Failure to have a process. I have a process that I follow in every single investigation, and I've got a video on the channel which is about complaint analysis. That video runs for about 45 minutes, but it takes you through the whole process that I use in every single investigation to analyse a complaint. So there'll be more details of this video in the link, and I'll also put a link to the complaint analysis video as well. Not taking your time. You've got to take your time over a complaint analysis. Now, if your complaint is 1 page, okay, 10 pages, 20 pages, 50 pages, you have to take your time. You have to really understand what the complaint is about, what the complainant is saying. And if you don't, you'll fail to clarify the content of the complaint. Simple as that. Sometimes complaints are full of lots of information which is irrelevant. But by carefully reading it, by taking your time, you'll tease out the relevant parts of the complaint. Failure to recognise what part of a complaint require a definitive scale. More about that in the article on the website. But what I will say is if someone uses the word yell, you need a scale. I use a scale out of 1 to 10, and it's explained how to do it. It's also explained how to do that in the webinar that I'll put the connection to. But it's important if someone says yell, and then you're asking witnesses how loud it was, if they just say yell, well, do they mean the same thing or not? Making assumptions about what the complainant meant. In their complaint, they'll write lots of things, there'll be lots of words. You can't assume what they meant. You also can't assume that the complainant knew what they meant. Sometimes they use words that sound good, but they actually don't know what the meaning of those words are. So they're making a complaint about something. They don't know what that word means, so you're never going to get anywhere in the complaint because they don't even understand what they're doing. Really important to clarify. Not realising or highlighting the need to clarify certain items. You know, if they say there's an email or a document, making sure you know exactly what they're talking about. Failure to recognise anything that doesn't appear to make sense or is contradictory. And again, that comes from careful reading. They've written one thing and then they've written another thing. Part of your analysis will be to highlight, well, this doesn't make sense. I need to ask questions about that. Leaving stones or avenues of investigation unturned. They say something, you accept it, but you don't question it. You don't get more details about it. You assume you know what they're talking about. You assume they know what they're talking about. It turns out you may both be wrong. So to support your allegation, you must have evidence if you're going to substantiate it. It's important not to read into the complaint with your personal views or your opinions. You should treat it absolutely on face value. If the complaint analysis is flawed, everything that flows on will be flawed. Okay? The complaint analysis is your start point. If you don't get it right, if you don't take the time, everything's going to be flawed from that point on. Your interview planning, your interviews, your eventual evidence analysis, and your final report. Okay? You can't hope to provide an effective final report if the process that proceeds is flawed. So, more details and the explanations of the failures, click on the link below. There's also going to be a link to the extended video where I go right through the process of complaint analysis. Don't forget, please like the video, subscribe. The little subscribe button there is down on the left-hand side. It looks exactly, sorry, the right-hand side. It looks exactly like that. So please, if you want to know more, please like the video, subscribe to the video, and as I mentioned, there will be more of these coming. I'm going right through the process of investigations. The next one will be about interview planning. Okay, so thanks for your time today. Please enjoy the videos.